Welcome to World of Warships. I'm Redsorax. In this first clip I'm going to show you what happens when you surprise a destroyer in an Atlanta, and what happens when an Atlanta gets surprised by a battleship. And it was at this point he knew he had fucked up. The guns on the Atlanta will just chew a destroyer apart. It has 14 guns that it can bring to bear on one side of the ship, and they fire every 3.2 seconds, 3.8 seconds, and they're 5-inch shells, and they absolutely dominate. Now my teammate died here. My other teammate died by the Z-23, and I check up ahead and I don't see anything. I figure I'll hold the cap. We are in domination mode. Get the cap back. Now I see a turpits, and I figure I'll get behind this little island right here and I'll lob my shells over it. Check ahead again. See a ship up there, one of our ships. And I get spotted, but I'm thinking it is the turpits, and I'm going to keep lobbing the shells over, and I'm thinking he might see the back of my ship, and I start creeping to get these fires on him. Just rain down fires, and you can see it's actually 4.2 seconds per salvo. And watch my health. It is right here where I knew I had fucked up. Hello, Alabama. Well, this is the ship I'm going to intro today. The most dangerous possible ship in the game, especially tier for tier. The Kamikaze Tier IV. Reizo Tanaka is my commander, and you can see my inspirations and my setup. And I'm using inspirations of Eric Bay to give me 5.4 concealment on destroyers, and Jerzy Swarsky to give me 4.5 on all ships, give me a 9.9, giving me a 4.3 detection overall. Nothing can outspot this ship except another one. So we go into battle now. We're on ring. We're playing by ourselves. And of course the team brought a failed division. If you're watching, try not to bring failed divisions. Always try to go same tier, same tier. If you go up or down one tier, if you're the bottom ships in the other tier, well, as you can see, it's tier 5 ships on my team against tier 3s on their team. So this is a standard battle. And the 2 destroyers, 3 destroyers, all the destroyers on the other team can outgun me, but not one can outspot me. I have a 43-second reload on my torpedoes now. Now, this replay is from before I got all my perks leveled up to where they are now. All my captains leveled up. So you will see some numbers off here. So the perk I run with my my destroyer captain gives me an extra turbo boost right at the beginning, engine boost. So I push it out immediately, and I see a bearing, and I'm going to take a quick shot at it. And now I have 36 seconds, 35 seconds till my first set of torpedoes is back up. Again, 43 seconds overall. So in the Kamikaze, it's just a torpedo spammer. You get 2 torpedoes per launcher, 3 launchers. Good arcs on them. And if the Karlsruhe doesn't change course, then he makes a boo-boo. But I'm sure he's going to change course or change speed. After all, it is a Karlsruhe, it is a cruiser. He should spot my torpedoes in plenty of time. And you can see I have my torpedoes up already. Now the Karlsruhe just got punished by somebody, but I'm still taking a bearing. And I put one out just in case. So if he keeps on that path, because he's going to be focusing somebody else and not focusing me, and I turn away at 4.9 to stay undetected. The whole thing about this ship is it is a glass cannon. You absolutely do not want to be seen in it. And bam, because he was focused on somebody else, that time he didn't pay attention to my torpedoes. Take bearings here. We only have 7 seconds till we bring them back up again. Very fast reload. Very dangerous ship. And it has torpedoes comparable in destruction power as Tier 6 destroyers. My torpedoes, I honestly can't remember at this point in time, but I believe it's 9,000 damage. And now I've put one out on one ship, which is stuck. I think he's stuck on the island, and one around the corner. And now the Kaiser. And big bad battleships, you know how they are. And I make a mistake here, and I get within detection range, but he's not paying attention to me. So I pop smoke, and I start shooting. And the reason is to set a fire. Hopefully the fire, he'll be silly and damage con one fire, meaning my torpedoes will do flood damage if they flood, and it'll stick. But he actually waited until the torpedoes got there, so I just keep my guns going. Now, the speed of the torpedoes causes the speed of my guns to be extremely slow. So you don't get good guns and good torpedoes. So you want to be very cautious when using them. Now, I put a set of torpedoes on the track where he's at. One behind him and one kind of in front in case he spins out. That way, any way he moves, these are going to hit something. If he stays still, the first track are going to get him. If not, as you can see, I'm still sitting in the smoke. I have 34 seconds. And there's kill number 2. Now we hit the juice and start moving out. Our team's doing well right now. I'm at 41,000 damage. Got a nice Tier 5 New Mexico over here. Take the bearing, see what he's doing. And when you're in a kamikaze, you want to make sure to fire your torpedoes, preferably in a narrow spread. Wide spread with only 2 torpedoes, people can get through them a lot easier than you would think. So narrow spread's the way to go, and then pump them out, angling off a little bit from each other, a little ahead of the bearing, a little behind the bearing, like that. Wide spread, people can get through them. That's why I stay on narrow spread. They're pretty decently quick torpedoes. I don't have the stats on that at the moment. Not looking for all the stats. Just trying to show you how to avoid getting dumped into with torpedoes. And they're capping our base, so I'm heading back to help defend it. Lots of torpedoes flying around up ahead. We've got the engine boost running again to keep up. And I'm just running a couple torpedoes in the gap. And I believe the New Mexico is going to go down to those torpedoes ahead of me, and he does. Now I'm spotted by plane. And if there were anybody shooting at me, I would dip off and smoke out. Now we have an Acosta being taken down. And again, it's nothing wrong with using your torpedoes all the time, but you should keep your guns ready in case it's necessary. Torpedo warning, enough time to make sure I wasn't in the line. And now we're down to the last 3. And a Grimiashi can definitely, with his guns, chew me apart. So I'm calling him for support quickly. Now I take advantage of my T-22 teammate's smoke screen. I get in it, and we put out a bunch of torpedoes on the tracks. And I hit him with one set of my shells, resetting the base. And I incapacitated something. And of course he's smoked up. Now he thinks he's safe because he's going to sit in the smoke. And as the great and mighty jingle says, smoke screens are torpedo magnets. They are not safe from lobbing torpedoes in and out. So now that he thinks he's safe, I'm going to sneak up, come down on a different bearing, spread the torpedo wide up, and then spread them all through there, trying to gap it open for him. And we'll just see what happens. In the smoke they go. I get detected. He's on the edge of it, and he ran out, and there, guns away. Safe enough because he's on the run, and my guns were already pointed in that direction. Now I take a little hit here. He's dead. Now that he's dead, I can't be spotted anymore. Now I do smoke up. Want to see what's going on around me, although both ships are on the other side of me. Repairs are done. Honestly, why I'm doing this, I have no idea in the game. I have no idea at the time why I did this. In all honesty, I could have got a phone call, been doing something. I have no idea. Now I'm focused again. Alright, we take a track bearing again. We got 2 battleships on the screen. We got a bearing on the Iron Duke. We shoot it off. Make sure not to run into the island. Stay well out of sight of his range. Now they just took out our T-22. So now the score is getting closer. And the Iron Duke actually turned to avoid my torpedoes. Get another bearing, but now he's going to straighten out again. And again, very fast reloading. So all I can do is just pester him, and he'll never see me. If a destroyer's left with nothing but battleships, it is almost impossible for the battleships to do anything. Almost. If they work together, they could do it, but they're focused on the damage over there. So I got the torpedo into him, and we got the kill. Now we have a Fuso. Seeing what we got going on with that set of torpedoes, and one spread got 2 ships. So I set a torpedo in front of the track, behind the track. Now I'm holding it because he's turning. Now he's going to straighten out. And turned right back into him. and High Caliber, and that made the Kraken. So again, we completed some kind of missions. I can't remember what these missions were for at the time. And we came out with 94,000 and a Kraken. 5 kills, 3,100 base, no flags flying. And top of the leaderboard. Worked out well for us. And I hope that you understand the importance of, if you see a kamikaze on the other team, and I do it myself, it is priority number 1 to take that kamikaze out. And with that, I hope to see you on the next one.